Over 3/4 of our planet is covered by ocean, containing 80% of life on Earth. In a recent study, scientists discovered that seafood may disappear in around 30 years due to overfishing, which leads to an overall degradation of our ocean system. So what is overfishing? Overfishing occurs when the amount of fish being caught is greater than the rate of fish being born. Wild fish simply can't reproduce as fast as 7 billion people can eat them. Our ocean has been subject to this since the early 1800s, where whale populations were decimated for their blubber to make lamp fuel. Since then, the fish population has been on the decline. Almost 31% of the world's fish population are overfished, and another 58% are fished at the max sustainable level. A lack of restrictions or laws that prevent overfishing in some parts of the world where fishing is an important economic activity is one cause of overfishing. Illegal fishing is also a cause because people fish for endangered species so they can sell their meats or other valuables in a black market. Cultural traditions such as killing of the sperm whale in the Netherlands and unprotected marine areas are also causes. Overfishing is the cause of some very significant environmental impacts. In our ecosystems, food security, jobs, economies, and coastal cultures all depend on us ending it. The destruction of our habitat and extinction is what we are facing if we do not do something about it. The Census of Marine Life, a decade-long international survey of ocean life completed in 2010, estimated that 90% of the big fish had disappeared from the world's oceans, victims primarily of overfishing. In 30 years, scientists predict an eventual collapse in the global fishing industry, threatening biodiversity and our global food security. In the case of habitat destruction, certain fishing techniques, such as dredging, bottom trawling, and blast fishing, leads to the collapse of the ocean's ecosystem and loss of a valuable food source. So, what's the inevitable common thread between these fishing methods? Bycatch. Bycatch are the unlucky animals that get caught unintentionally as they were not the intended species to be fished. The fisherman bycatch issue originated due to the mortality of dolphins in tuna nets in the 1960s. Wild shrimp are typically caught by trawling when fishermen drag nets the size of a football field along the ocean bottom, disrupting or destroying seafloor habitats. They catch as little as 5% shrimp. The rest is bycatch, unwanted animals that are thrown back into the sea.
With overfishing being rampant in all parts of the globe, people have been debating about how it can benefit the public and why it is still being practiced despite the fact that it is one of the biggest threats to the ocean. It has created more job opportunities. Since the aquaculture industry boom, numerous jobs have been made available to the people. This is especially true in impoverished areas where decent and good-paying jobs are quite rare. It helps meet the increased demand for food. The world's population is steadily rising every year, which means that there are now billions of people who need to eat. Overfishing can help meet the rising food demand by ensuring that fish and seafood are readily available and that most of them are affordable enough for ordinary people. It helps people eat healthier. Seafood is healthier than other kinds of meat. With more people becoming more health conscious nowadays, it's no wonder there is a growing demand for seafood, and thanks to the presence of overfishing companies, such demand can be met. It shifts our diet away from meat. The meat industry massively contributes to global warming. One cow produces nearly 150 gallons of methane per day. Animal agriculture also produces 65% of all human-related nitrous oxide emissions, which is 296 times the global warming potential of carbon dioxide. A new assessment backed by the Global Ocean Commission roughly estimates that fish and other aquatic life in the high seas actually absorb enough carbon dioxide to avert $74 billion to $222 billion in climate damage per year.
Overfishing in our oceans has had biocultural impacts, as seen in many communities that use fish as a part of their dietary needs. Overfishing has had the biggest impact on Asian communities. According to this chart, the continent that has the most consumption of fish is Asia. Because many Asian countries are located near bodies of water, Fish is a big part of their diet. Due to overfishing of the oceans, some areas have experienced a shortage of essential species such as tilapia, catfish, tuna, and carps. This has led to a change in diets, forcing people to turn to other sources of protein, such as meats, eggs, and tofu. There have also been instances of overfishing causing a migration pattern in the Kenyan population. Because they have a shortage of fish in one area, they would have to travel farther distances to fish for their daily needs, therefore causing a need to relocate to other areas, causing a shortage of resources for the Kenyan communities. Kenya also has fish being a big part of their culture. For instance, fishing in small groups is often used as social bonding activity, leading to better interpersonal communication skills among their communities. Not only was fishing used as social bonding, they also used medicine as well. For example, they believe that fish skin can cure things such as nausea, headaches, and other small things. With a shortage of fish, those communities are not only malnourished, but they have more anxiety about their health and well-being, causing even more of an impact on their biology. Overfishing has also caused a decline of many traditions held in some cultures. For example, in China, the abalone shellfish is now seen as a symbol of wealth and prosperity because of its scarcity due to overfishing. It also has a long history of having medicinal properties according to ancient Chinese textbooks, making the fish even more valuable due to scarcity. It even caused many to believe that the abalone had a long history of curing blood diseases and strengthening a sense of one's being.